Good evening, and welcome to the Table on Air, your primary source for learning about what's new, what's happening, and what's what in Black LGBTQ culture. For those that don't know, and by now you should know, I'm your host, Darius Caffey, and I thank you for showing up to this space. We're about to get real, a little deep, and maybe a little teary, but we're gonna have some fun, so stick around for the ride. Joining us today, we have a very special guest who is a rock star in the haircare space. But for now, you already know, here's the latest and greatest in this week's Black Report. Hey family, I got some good news and some sad news depending on how you take it. It's really all the same news, so I'm really just gonna say it, but we're finally at the end of our first season, y'all. I know, I'll miss you too. I'll be back, but I'll miss you too. We've shared a lot in this space together, a lot of life, a lot of laughs, a lot of love, and I just thank y'all for sharing so much of that with me. For everyone that continues to pour into me or the people who support me and the things that we do, I thank y'all. I haven't really talked about it too much because I'm still in the thick of it, but y'all supporting me truly means more than I can ever say. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. We're making history together, so I hope that y'all are ready for this ride because I'm locked in. I'm prepped, ready to go, trained to go, and excited about where the future is taking us. Now, I don't really know where that's going, to be honest, but day by day, we're doing things that our ancestors could only dream of. So it's time to start acting like it. Each one of us has our own history to make and our own story to tell, but I'm glad we get to do this together because we're stronger in numbers, louder in pairs, and like the great Audre Lorde said, without community, there is no liberation. So let's keep doing this thing together, taking it one day at a time because that's all we can do, and show up how we can. That's all I ask. Our existence is history within itself if you didn't already know, so keep living, keep thriving, and keep showing up in all of your greatness because you never know where it'll take you. I'm also listening to my own advice because y'all know how it be, but it's time to free ourselves from what we thought we could do. We're greater than we could have ever imagined, and part of that power comes from the community. So keep leaning into that. That's a wrap on our Black Report with the QUE. And until next season, keep finding ways to celebrate yourself. Joining us as a guest today, we have lead stylist of Blake Edward Haircare, the one, the only, my friend, support system, and a very iconic social innovator throughout the city of Chicago, Blake Jeffries.
Hello, hi.
Welcome.
I'm super excited to be here.
Super excited to have you. Welcome to the table, my friend. I'm glad that we get to sit down and have this conversation and to really explore and highlight all the great things that you've been able to do in your craft, in your work, in your business, and all the other things that come with it, because we know that life is a bunch of bits and pieces that help us build out our dreams and our legacy. So,
of course,
really excited to dive more into your legacy today.
Super excited to share.
Yeah, well, let's get right into it, because I know the people are ready, I'm ready, and hopefully you're ready to share a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, starting us off, did a little bit of research on your business and all the things that you do. And I want to come back to your mission.
Okay.
And what that means for you. So, Opulence, Rebirth, and Style in haircare. How do these concepts define your craft and what you do?
Absolutely. So the mission itself is re-architecting luxury within hair care. And when I came up with that specifically, I am a baby who grew up in the shop. So I always used to go to the shop with my mom when she got her hair done. So I know the experience more so Black women going to the hair salon and being there all day. And, you know, it is such a camaraderie thing. And like, it really is fellowship and such a place where they go and relax, let go, and be themselves. But sometimes it definitely isn't like the most luxurious thing. Yeah. It's definitely a time to, you know,
it's a very vulnerable space.
Right. Meet up with your homegirls more so and kick it. And so while I love that, I definitely thought that like we as in African American or people of color, deserve a space to, one, be vulnerable, but at the same time experience the joys of something being luxury for us. And so that's why that's the mission. And then of course Opulence, Rebirth. And so when we're talking about that, that's the experience. So when we're talking about that, the rebirth part is like, we're obviously getting our hair done. We're coming in one way and leaving another. So we're transformed not only from the outside, but from the inside as well. So, yeah.
How did that come to be the focus of the work that you're doing? You know, bringing that beautiness from the inside of people and helping them see it on the outside.
Well, I've always known that, well, when I started my business, I knew that it was more than just me doing hair. And so,
you knew that from the beginning?
I knew that from the jump.
Okay.
So I started doing hair, but I knew that it's more than me doing hair, meaning like, you know, we're changing lives, we're building up confidence, and we are, you know, shifting people's perspectives on, you know, how they view themselves. And so this leads into people always asking me like, oh, what's my passion? And I never say that that hair is my passion. I always say that people are my passion. And hair is just a gift that I'm given to connect with people. And so that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So thinking about, you know, that connection to not just the hair care and to the business aspect of it, but really connecting to people, you know, what are some of those different driving forces that are helping you stay connected to your core and to, you know, the thing that really does fuel you to get up and go to work every day? Because if it's not doing the hair, you know, it is something truly deeper than that. So what does that look like for you? For me, it's really my core clients. I think once I first started, it definitely took me a minute to find my footing in terms of the type of client that I wanted to, you know, service. And so once I garnered that, it's really like knowing that they're somebody completely new when they sit in the chair. And that's what keeps me going, really, and understanding that, you know, this is deeper than me just doing somebody's hair. Yeah, it is.
And so that's what really keeps me going. And then the end goal, and then I'm such a future focused person that, like,
you kind of got to be to run a business.
You do. Yeah. It really is the only way you can progress. And so with me being so future focused, I'm always thinking about, you know, the end goal, while still tackling the small little goals until I get to the end goal. Right. So that's what really keeps me going. Okay. So it sounds like you really do understand, you know, what it's rooted in and how that's going to continue to expand for you. Yes. It's a scary thing, though.
Define scary.
Scary as in like
owning your own business scary, or like venturing off into something much bigger?
Having vision is scary. And I don't think people realize that, like, not everybody has vision for who they are, what their life is, what their purpose is. But once you have that vision, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to start, you know, taking the necessary steps in order to get to where you know you're supposed to be. Now you have a choice
to act on that vision.
Yeah. For sure. And, you know, I'm just the type of person that I choose to be all that I can be. So it's overwhelming sometimes. It's a little scary because you don't have all the answers, but you know where you're supposed to be. So that's why it's scary. Yeah,
and it's funny, it's not funny, but it's crazy that you say that, because I was just talking to somebody the other day about vision and having a larger vision than what's currently, you know, going on right now, and the way that I see my life and the way that I see different things and want to expand it, and just having different ideas on, you know, how to creatively innovate. And someone else came to that same, you know, topic, as that everybody doesn't always have that vision, and everybody doesn't always, you know, work towards the same different things. And that's okay too, but understanding that you may be that one with that larger vision. And like you said, it's your decision to act on it or not. You now have the guide, something or somebody has laid it out for you, and it's up to you to figure out how to execute, how to live out those dreams. So I'm glad that you're continuing to live out your dreams and build out your legacy, because that's really, you know, what you're doing with this, and setting the groundwork for so much more to come for not just yourself, but the community that you bring into the work that you're doing. So I thank you for, you know, building out this space for people to come in and not just get some self-care, but to feel empowered as well.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And I I know just from your process of how you know, work with clients that it really is bigger than just doing hair. So can you explain your intake process a little bit and, you know, how you come to work with different clients and support, you know, what vision they have for themselves?
Absolutely. So the intake process is really quite simple. You go online and you book an appointment.
It sounds simple, but I know you got some different questions in there to help people understand.
Absolutely. So I'm made for people. So I don't limit the type of people that I service. Now I do specialize in certain styles and certain hair care needs and stuff like that. But in terms of the actual person, there's really no limit. And I think what helps me better understand the client that I have at hand is just thoroughly doing a consultation. And so I'm the type of person, I love doing consultations in person, like when you actually book the appointment. We're talking about what your hair care needs are. What do you want to see your hair doing? What are your goals? What are you doing now? And then that's really how you can tell if a person is a good fit or not for whatever you're doing as your brand, or if I'm a stylist, if we mesh together, because it really is a journey. So a stylist and a client is a journeying relationship, and so
especially when you have those recurring clients coming back, like you're a part of that journey now.
It's a journey,
So what about that journey brings out the most excitement for you when you have those recurring clients, you know, come back? Is it the growth of the hair? Is it the changing of the styles? Like what is it for you?
I think it's the comfortability of having the person come back over and over again, knowing that, you know, it doesn't feel like work. And so that's one thing, because you definitely have those clients that come and you're like, oh my God, I do not like doing this person's hair. And I mean, that's just honest. Like every stylist has that. But what makes it beautiful is that you do have those clients that it just doesn't feel like work. You know, we're coming to Kiki. I always tell my friends or like my clients that come and we have a good time, I don't book the last appointment because we're gonna be here all day.
I'm Gobalta, host of the podcast 3 Questions With. The Illinois Transplant Fund was founded to increase access to organ transplants by targeting the inequity of health insurance access.
Organ donation is a gift, and what we want is not only to have the transplant, but also to be successful for many years.
Join us on Wednesday at 7:30 in the evening via Channel 19, streaming on cantv.org and the Can TV Plus app.
Hi, I'm Darius Hillman, Executive Director of Can TV, inviting you to join us for the premiere of the all-new Can TV original program, Can Speaks, placing a spotlight on a single topic seen through the eyes of 3 guest presenters. We'll highlight the human experiences of pain, joy, success, loss, failure, and the self-discovery that results from the journey through each. Tune in for the premiere of Can Speaks at 7 p.m. on Can TV Channel 19 and streaming live on cantv.org, Can TV's Facebook page, and the new Can TV Plus app.
It really is nice to see, you know, that community being created for people just to come in and feel that comfortability, because I know it makes a huge difference. Even for men, you know, going to the barbershop, like finding that space and environment that makes you feel comfortable and welcome, makes you want to come back, makes you feel more confident leaving that space. And it changes, you know, for a lot of people, their lives and how they interact with other people and show up, you know, as their true, authentic selves. So it's really great that we have someone like you in spaces like BEHC to be able to make people feel warm and welcome, you know, in their growth and development.
It's an honor. I'm honored to do the work that I do, because I feel like people don't take their appearance lightly. It really affects people's confidence, how they maneuver throughout the world. And not only people hire stylists for the most important moments of their lives, like doing weddings, birthdays, and stuff like that. You're going to be looking at this for the rest of your life. So if it's not perfect, or if you're not feeling good about it, then it sucks. But
what has been one of the better experiences event-wise that you've done hair for?
I haven't had a bad event.
That's good.
Truly, because while I love doing what I do, I also know how to say no. And I also know my boundaries and the capacity in which I operate.
It makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. There are things that, you know, because somebody loves what I do or that they see it online, they think I can do anything. And it's like, well, I specialize. So, you know, but the one thing that's good about that is that I always have, you know, recommendations for people. So if I can't do it, I know somebody who can. I'll just send them to them. So that's why I haven't really had a bad event.
That's good.
So I'm happy about that because I've heard horror stories.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, from clients, from stylists, you hear a lot of horror stories, especially not just from Chicago, but from like other cities, especially like cities that have large populations of Black hair care stylists. And
Atlanta. He didn't want to say it.
We're not calling the girls out, but sometimes the girls be down there making crazy requests. And you know, it really does make a difference for you to go to a site and have a simple intake process and be like, okay, I feel very comfortable booking this stylist to get my hair done. Yes. And not having to jump through hoops, not having to worry if you go into a crazy environment and the person is going to act crazy with you.
Yeah.
It makes you scared to go back and get your hair done.
Some of the stories my clients have told me are actually insane.
Yeah. What's one of the more crazy ones without putting people out there?
I can't.
That's fine. That's fine. We ain't gonna put nobody on blast.
No,
but
nothing to do with me.
Just to know that it really does happen. So to have spaces like this, you know, it is really important to have. And I'm, you know, curious to know how your history in the in the hair care space, you know, because you said that you've been doing this since you were younger, and it's been something that you grew up in. How has that history and experience, you know, impacted your vision for your company and the growth that you want to see with it?
That's a good question. That's something that real top tier journalism here.
Yeah, I wrote that.
But, you know, I think growing up, so my mother and grandmother taught me how to do hair at a very, very young age. And so that's what's really shaped, you know, how I see, and also the vision that God has given me for the brand or the business. I feel like it shaped it because, you know, my grandmother and mother, they were just two Black women that knew how to do hair. And I was just a young boy that played with dolls. Yeah. And they were like, well, if you're going to play with dolls, we're going to teach you how to do the hair.
Might as well be productive with it.
And so one of the things that I value within that is gentleness. My mother and grandmother were very gentle. They taught me how to be gentle. And so one of the things that I feel like my clients love, and one of the things that they always tell me is that, oh, you're so gentle. I barely feel you in my head. And so that's luxury. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what shapes at the end of the day, like the vision, like that's to me something that is, you know, so important. Yeah. So, yeah.
What they instilled in you, it's still showing up in what you do today.
Yes, that's very beautiful. Much so.
That's beautiful. To have that connection and to feel it. I mean, you may not directly think about it, you know, as you're working or doing things, but having that connection, I think, is beautiful to your story. And hopefully, you know, to anybody else that's listening, that's watching, that has a very similar, you know, experience in this space, I hope that it encourages them, you know, and shows them that there are spaces like this that they can also lean into, maybe reach out to, you know, for some guidance or something like that, but to also see the representation. That's why we're here, to be able to see more positive representation of our people doing great things. So I'm proud of you for all the great things that you've been able to do and how you're able to expand.
We on Can TV.
Okay.
Lights, camera, action.
Lights, camera, action, baby. But no, thank you so much, Blake, for being here with me, for sharing that story. You know, is short of a conversation as this was, I know there's so much more to BEHC and
so much
more. So much
She's
more.
layered.
She is
an onion.
Oh, okay. A good onion. A good onion.
Just touched my neck.
It's okay. Stop touching the mic.
It was an accident.
I know. It's okay. But yeah, no, thank you for real for being here and for sharing that story and for hopefully inspiring other people that are tuning in to be able to see us do these different things and encourage them to keep doing theirs, you know, whatever that may be and whatever light they are stepping in. I'm going to stop here, but we're not done.
Okay, we're not done.
No, we got a little game.
Game time.
We have a little game.
I'm very competitive.
Are you?
I am.
All right.
I'm a Leo. I don't like to lose.
Leos are like that.
Yes.
Stick around for Open Space.
Life is full of curveballs and home runs, highs, lows, and everything in between. There's a saying that goes, a setback is a set up for a comeback. My guests will discuss how to find peace in the broken pieces from life's setbacks. Watch Generation Flex on CAN-TV Channel 19, cantv.org, or stream it on the new CAN-TV Plus app.
Hi, I'm Darius Hillman, Executive Director of CAN-TV, inviting you to join us for the premiere of the all-new CAN-TV original program, CAN Speaks, placing a spotlight on a single topic seen through the eyes of 3 guest presenters. Will highlight the human experiences of pain, joy, success, loss, failure, and the self-discovery that results from the journey through each. Tune in for the premiere of CAN Speaks at 7 p.m. on CAN-TV Channel 19 and streaming live on cantv.org, CAN-TV's Facebook page, and the new CAN-TV Plus app.
And now for Open Space, an opportunity for us to let go, just live, and be free. Stick around for the vibes. So, Blake, have a little game for you.
I'm nervous.
Don't be.
But I am competitive. I'm going to win, whatever it is.
Well, I'm not playing against you. This is you versus you, sweetie.
Well, isn't it always?
You're right. I like that. I like that. So this one is going to be really simple. It's
Okay.
called This or That. So essentially the rules are you choose this or that.
Oh, fun.
All right, let's go. Let's get to it. So I'm going to say some things. You choose
Okay.
what you feel you want to lean into the most. All right. Staycations or vacations?
Vacations.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite location?
TBD.
You don't have a favorite vacation spot?
No, I haven't been everywhere yet.
Okay, you're right. Well, we got to get you, traveling on some flights or something.
Yeah.
Next one, concert or festival?
I feel like both sound good in theory. But
You
I
like
actually-
me that like being on the couch watching the concert?
Yeah, actually don't need to be there. But it sounds like a good time.
It does. For them people that like to go.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy it when I'm comfortable. For us short folks, we gotta
Yeah.
get it how we live, Movies or plays?
Oh, that's hard.
I know.
Now, like, what type of plays? Like musicals? Or just like stage plays?
See, now that's different because I'm not a big musical fan, but whatever floats your boat. Any kind of musical.
Okay.
or play.
I like watching movies and I like being in plays.
As a performer.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you had a theater background.
I'm a thespian in real life. And I grew up a thespian.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I've been in all types of musicals and stuff.
Okay. Next episode. Focusing
Next
on
episode.
Blake Jeffries, the actor.
Multifaceted.
All right. I love that. Okay. Good note. We in Chicago, so beach or lakefront?
Lakefront.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. More peaceful. Less
It's
sand.
just peaceful, yeah. I used to walk to the lake all the time in undergrad.
It's a nice place to recollect your life.
Literally.
Get your life at the lakefront, okay? Get your life at the lakefront.
That was cute.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Where?
New York.
Always.
Yes, of course.
Always. All right, last one. Slow jams or house music?
House music.
Over slow jams?
All day.
Okay.
Give me some Terry Hunter, Louis Vega. Come on.
Okay, you better call him out.
On. Yeah, house music all the way. Find me at a house set tonight.
Yeah. If
For
you're
real.
looking for Blake, he's
Yeah.
probably at a house set somewhere.
I'm at Smart Bar.
can't get the people you low. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by the table and giving the people all of you and bits and pieces of you, and for sharing so much of your story and for being transparent with our community. I really do, really do appreciate you ending our season with me and making this history, you know, that we're here to do. We're making history with everything that you're doing, everything that I'm doing, what we're doing together. It's beautiful to see, and I am so full, you know, in this moment, and I just appreciate you for sharing space with me and for bringing more light into our community and all the things that we're able to continue to do.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. No, seriously, I think this is an amazing platform. I think you're really giving voice to people who typically wouldn't have it. And so I think this is far beyond what you are expecting it to be. So I'm excited for the future of Closeted Unlocked. So yeah, keep me posted on all the happenings.
I will.
So that I can be in tune.
You'll be tapped in.
For sure.
Tap. Well, you already know we'll be back next season with more Black queer folks being represented at the table. But until then, peace out.